If these words have found you, it is no accident. Your soul has already chosen breakthrough. You did not stumble here by mistake. You were led. Invisible threads of divine timing pulled you into this very moment. The door you have been waiting for is no longer distant. It is here, right now. Look closely at your life. You have carried burdens. You have replayed cycles. You have asked, why does it always end this way? One moment of hope, followed by delay. One step forward, followed by resistance. The pattern has felt unbreakable. But today something inside you rises to say, no more. That voice is not just willpower. It is your soul, shaking you awake, like a trumpet sounding in the night, calling you to remember what you are. You are not stuck. You are not lost. You are not cursed. You are standing at the silent gate of destiny, and it is beginning to unlock. Fear has whispered to you, convincing you that your prayers were unanswered. Doubt has wrapped around your mind, telling you that time has passed you by. But divine law does not delay. Divine law does not forget. Every word you have spoken, every longing you have carried, has been heard in the great orchestration of spirit. This is not punishment, it is preparation. The long wait, the confusion, the endless turning of the same wheel, it was not wasted. It was aligning you. It was pressing your spirit toward this very moment of awakening. Hear me now. The very fact that your eyes are on these words means your breakthrough is not in the distance. It is in motion. Like dawn pushing back the night. Like a river breaking through the dam. Like a key turning in the lock of a sacred gate. Imagine it with me. Close your eyes and see your soul standing before a great door. For years it has felt sealed, heavy, unmovable. But today, you hear a click, a shift, the sound of divine timing aligning, and suddenly the impossible, it begins to move. This is your moment. This is your opening. Florence Scovel Shinn taught that nothing is by chance. The words we speak call forth the law that governs us, and right now, this message is your decree. The law is already unfolding in your favor. Subscribe to this channel and step into a community where faith becomes substance, where words become wealth, and where your spirit learns to walk in divine order every day. You may have believed that you were waiting for God, but listen carefully. God was waiting for you, waiting for the moment you would stop resisting, stop doubting, stop clinging to fear, waiting for the moment you would step into faith with both feet. That moment is now. The struggle you have felt is not a sign of weakness. It is a sign of your soul preparing for expansion. Just as a seed must break to release the tree, just as night must deepen before dawn arrives, so too has your pain been the precursor to power. Breathe. Feel this truth moving through you. Fear and faith cannot live in the same house. Delay and divine timing are not the same. Chaos is not stronger than peace. Today, you trade one for the other, from confusion to clarity, from resistance to surrender, from repeating the old to walking into the new. This video is not just words, it is a turning point. It is a declaration to your subconscious, to your spirit, and to the unseen law that governs life. A declaration that your breakthrough is here. So I ask you now, do you feel it? The stirring in your chest, the whisper in your mind, the holy certainty that something has shifted, that is your confirmation. And if your heart is ready, if your soul longs to stay connected to this flow of truth, take one sacred step. Subscribe now, not as a casual act, but as a declaration. Say with your action, I am ready to live in divine alignment. I am ready to walk daily into my breakthrough. This is more than a channel. This is a spiritual journey. Each day we will walk together into deeper truth, into higher law, into the very flow of divine abundance. And today with this first step, your journey begins. The gate is opening. The key has turned. Your breakthrough is no longer waiting. It is here. Step through. You have been waiting. You have been praying. You have been declaring words with faith, yet part of you whispers in secret moments, why hasn't it happened yet? This question sits heavy on the soul. It is the place where doubt tries to plant its roots. But today, I give you the master key, and once you hold it, no wall can keep you locked out, no door can stay closed. Florence Scovel Shinn revealed a principle so simple and yet so hidden that most miss it. She called it the law of non-resistance. To resist is to choke the flow. To resist is to tighten your grip on the very thing God is trying to place into your open hands. When you resist, you declare silently, I do not trust the divine order. But when you release, when you let go and allow, you step into the law that governs breakthrough. Picture a river held back by a dam. The water pushes, it gathers force, it roars in silence behind the wall. You may think nothing is happening, but underneath, the pressure builds. The water is not denied, it is not destroyed, it is waiting for one shift, one release, one opening, and the moment resistance is lifted, the flood bursts forth with unstoppable power. That river is your good, that river is your healing, that river is your wealth, your freedom, your answered prayer. Breakthrough is not born when you see it, it is born in the invisible, the moment you stop resisting and start trusting. Resistance is fear clothed as control, surrender is faith clothed as alignment. Now hear this truth, divine timing is never late. Divine timing is never rushed. The invisible clock of God ticks in perfect rhythm. Your soul's desire is already on schedule. You may believe you missed your chance. You may believe you are behind. But what if I told you, you are exactly on time? The delay you feel is not denial. The waiting is not punishment. It is preparation. The divine cannot give you something you are not yet prepared to carry. What good is a harvest if the soil is not ready? What good is an open door if you are not strong enough to walk through it? Divine timing is the wisdom of heaven ensuring your breakthrough does not break you. So when you ask, why hasn't it happened yet? I invite you to reframe it. Say instead, I am being prepared. This shift removes the poison of doubt and replaces it with the power of trust. Let us now anchor this law into your spirit with a holy affirmation. Speak it softly or boldly, but speak it until the words echo in your chest like a drumbeat. I release resistance. I align with divine timing. My breakthrough cannot be delayed. Again, I release resistance. I align with divine timing. My breakthrough cannot be delayed. As you declare this, feel the dam inside you begin to crack. Feel the waters of blessing pressing, ready to surge into your life. See with the eyes of your spirit the divine clock ticking, each moment aligning, each second carrying you closer. Now close your eyes for a moment and imagine this. You are standing before a great golden gate. On the other side is everything you have prayed for. At first it looks locked, but as you stand in faith, you notice a clock above it. The hands are moving perfectly without hesitation. You realize the gate does not open by force. It opens in rhythm. It opens in time. And when the moment strikes, no hand can hold it shut. This is the truth of your life. You do not need to push harder. You do not need to fight against what appears delayed. You need only to stay aligned, surrendered, open. Now listen within. What are you still resisting? Is it fear of lack? Is it the memory of failure? Is it anger at how long the road has felt? Release it. Place it into the river and let it be carried away. Resistance cannot coexist with breakthrough. Remember this. Breakthrough is not something that might come. It is not a gift God is still deciding to give. It is already written into your soul's story. You are not hoping for it. You are aligning with it. The law of non-resistance says, let go. The law of divine timing says, trust the clock. Together they form the invisible law behind every breakthrough. So the next time your mind whispers, it hasn't happened yet, speak back with the authority of heaven. Say, it is already moving, it is already aligning, it is already mine. Do not measure your progress by sight, measure it by faith. Do not mark your calendar with impatience, mark it with trust. Just as the seed breaks the soil not a second early and not a second late, so will your good emerge at its perfect hour. Your task now is to walk each day as though the breakthrough has already begun, because it has. Each step, each breath, each choice to trust over fear is part of the unfolding. Say to yourself often, the river is building, the clock is ticking, my breakthrough is in motion. Let your inner dialogue be gentle but firm. When fear rises, replace it. This is the law of substitution at work. If the thought is, I am left behind, replace it with, I am right on time. If the thought is, nothing is happening, replace it with, everything is aligning. This practice rewires the soul. Now lift your chin, feel the shift inside you. The key has been placed in your hands. You no longer wait as one forgotten. You wait as one prepared. You wait as one already chosen. The law has been unveiled to you. The resistance is dissolving. The divine clock is ticking in your favor, and the river of your good is pressing against the walls, ready to pour into your life. Stay open, stay aligned, stay surrendered, because your breakthrough is not coming. Your breakthrough is already forming, and as we move forward, you will see how to align even deeper, how to speak words that command this invisible law into visible reality. You pray for abundance, yet in the quiet hours of your day, your tongue still rehearses lack. You speak of what you do not have. You repeat stories of delay. You whisper defeat over your own destiny without even knowing it. You envision the life you want, yet when you close your eyes, the shadow of failure rises taller than your dream. You imagine rejection more vividly than acceptance. You see the door closing more clearly than the gate opening. Your subconscious paints the picture of loss with sharper strokes than the vision of gain. And when the divine asks you to trust, to release control, to let the river carry you, what do? You grip tighter. You clutch at outcomes. You rehearse what might go wrong. You circle the same fears like footsteps wearing grooves in the floor. This is the labyrinth of the mind, a self-made maze where the walls are woven of doubt, where every turn leads back to the same familiar echo. You are not moving forward, though you feel exhausted. You are walking in circles inside your own thought patterns. And the law is precise. It does not judge. It does not punish. It reflects. It multiplies whatever seed you plant. Words of lack bear fruit of lack. Images of defeat grow into experiences of defeat. Fear rehearsed becomes fear lived. It is not cruelty. It is simple reflection. Florence Scovel Shinn taught that the power of the tongue is a creative force, shaping circumstance as faithfully as the potter's wheel shapes clay. And yet, many live unaware that their daily speech is crafting their tomorrow. Every casual complaint is a command. Every anxious prediction is an order to the unseen. Every sigh of doubt writes another line in the script of delay. Perhaps you know this struggle. You pray, but the words of your prayer are cancelled by the murmurs of your everyday talk. You visualize wealth for a moment, but the second thought is of debt. And you affirm healing, but your tongue quickly circles back to illness. This is why the breakthrough feels distant, because you are sowing and uprooting at the same time. But hear this. You are not your struggle. You are not the maze. You are not the looping story of lack. You are the soul learning how to wield divine law. The struggle is not proof of weakness. It is proof that you are awakening. Because only when you see the prison of thought can you reach for the key. Consider the law of substitution. You cannot banish a thought by force. To fight fear is to feed fear. But you can replace it. You can take the image of failure and, instead of wrestling with it, you lay another image over it. The vision of success, the picture of open doors, the silent gate of destiny swinging wide. That is the healing whisper of substitution, replacing the shadow with the light until the shadow dissolves on its own. Consider the law of non-resistance. What you resist will persist, pressing harder against the door of your mind. But when you stop wrestling, when you say, I release this into divine order, suddenly the weight lifts. Resistance is a rope pulling you back. Release is a wind pushing you forward. Your soul longs for this release. You can feel it, even now, the tension in your chest, the racing thoughts, the tight grip on outcomes. It is not your true nature. Your true self is calm, expansive, certain of divine timing. The soul does not beg. The soul knows. The soul rests in the rhythm of the divine orchestra where every note plays at its appointed time. So I ask you gently, how long will you keep circling the same labyrinth? How long will you grip chains that were never locked? How long will you let words of defeat script your future? The door is waiting. The key is in your mouth. Say with me now, not as ritual but as truth. I speak life over my path. I choose words that agree with God's abundance. I release the grip of fear and I trust the divine order. I am not the struggle. I am the soul rising above it. Let those words sit in your chest. Feel them vibrate. Aid is more than sound. Feel them reshape the very atmosphere around you. This is not imagination. It is law, and when the old thought returns, as it will, do not fight it, do not scold yourself. Instead, practice substitution. Replace it. If the thought says, I am failing, respond, I am unfolding in divine order. If the thought whispers, I am alone, answer, I am divinely accompanied. If the thought warns, I will lose, declare, I am already standing at the silent gate of victory. This is how you break the cycle, not by resisting the struggle, but by remembering you are not the struggle. You are the one who commands the law, the one who can speak new worlds into being. The journey is not about becoming worthy, you are already worthy. The journey is about alignment, about bringing your inner language into harmony with the truth of your soul. Every time you replace lack with abundance, fear with faith, resistance with surrender, you are tuning yourself to the divine frequency, and the law will reflect it. It cannot do otherwise. Now pause and breathe. Place your hand over your heart. Listen, not to the noise of fear, but to the steady pulse within. That rhythm is the reminder that you are carried, that you are connected, that you are more than every doubt that has ever spoken against you. Before we step into the next part of this journey, I want to leave you with a question, not to answer quickly, but to sit with in stillness, like a prayer whispered to your own soul. Where am I still resisting what God is trying to give me? Let this question open the door. Let it reveal the walls of your labyrinth. And know this, the moment you name the resistance is the moment you are free to release it. The story begins with a traveler, not a traveler of roads or maps, but a traveler of the unseen, one who has walked through valleys of fear and deserts of waiting, one who has carried heavy questions in silence, wondering if the universe has forgotten them. They walk until they reach a clearing, and in the clearing there it stands, a massive golden gate, shining with a light not of this world. It is not made of metal, but of spirit. It glows with a brilliance that feels alive, like sunlight woven with breath, and upon seeing it, the traveler knows, deep in the marrow of their soul, this is it, this is where my breakthrough lives. The gate is towering, so high the eye cannot see its end. Its frame holds engravings, symbols of prayers once spoken, tears once shed, dreams once carried in secret. And there is no lock, no chain, only the mysterious silence of its closed weight. The traveler approaches, heart racing, hands trembling. They place their palms against it and push. The golden gate does not move. They push harder, shoulders pressed, teeth clenched, breath shallow with desperation. But the gate stands firm, unmoved by human force. The harder they press, the heavier it feels, as though the gate grows stronger in resistance to their struggle. Frustration rises. The traveler pounds upon it, fists striking, voice shouting, "Open, open to me, I deserve this, I need this." But the silence deepens. The echo of their force returns to them, hollow and unanswered. They fall to their knees. Exhaustion takes the body. Despair weighs upon the soul. The traveler whispers, "Why have I come this far, only to be denied?" And the air itself seems to breathe a reply, though no voice is heard. This is not a door of force. This is a gate of alignment. The traveler weeps, and in their weeping something begins to soften. The armor of control loosens. The weight of striving slips away. They remember words they once heard. What you fight, you strengthen. What you resist, persists. For the first time the traveler stops fighting. They close their eyes. They place a hand upon the heart and say, "I no longer force. I no longer doubt. I align," and the gate opens. A stillness comes. The silence is no longer heavy. It is alive, like a divine orchestra tuning before a sacred song. And then, without warning, without strain, the golden gate swings open, not by push, not by demand, but by surrender. It opens as if it was never locked at all, as if it was always waiting for the traveler to remember the law. The traveler rises, trembling not from fear but from reverence. They step through the threshold, and beyond the gate is not just land. It is a world transformed. The air feels lighter, the colors richer, the horizon wider. It is the landscape of answered prayers, of divine alignment, of breakthroughs already prepared. The gate was never a barrier, it was a mirror. It reflected the inner state of the traveler. When they pressed with fear, it stood with resistance. When they surrendered with faith, it moved with grace. And so it is with you. This golden gate is not far away. It is here. It is your breakthrough. It is the opportunity, the healing, the abundance your soul has been journeying toward. And the key is not in struggle, not in demand, but in your words and your surrender. Hear this truth deeply. Every time you declare, I must force this, I must make it happen, I must push until the universe bends, the gate holds firm. But when you declare, I align, I trust, I release, the law responds, and the gate swings open. This is the law of non-resistance. It is not passivity, it is spiritual mastery. It is standing as one with the divine current rather than thrashing against it. It is knowing the river of destiny carries you faster in surrender than you could ever row in fear. You may ask, but how do I surrender when the pain is loud, when the waiting feels endless, when my heart is tired of hoping? The answer is not in silence but in sacred dialogue. It begins with the words you speak to yourself in the quiet. Your words are levers, your affirmation are keys. They unlock inner gates that the outer world must then reflect. So take this affirmation not as a phrase but as a living law. I no longer force, I no longer doubt, I align. And the gate opens. A stillness comes. The silence is no longer heavy. It is alive, like a divine orchestra tuning before a sacred song. And then, without warning, without strain, the golden gate swings open, not by push, not by demand, but by surrender. It opens as if it was never locked at all, as if it was always waiting for the traveler to remember the law. The traveler rises, trembling not from fear, but from reverence. They step through the threshold, and beyond the gate is not just land, it is a world transformed. The air feels lighter, the colors richer, the horizon wider. It is the landscape of answered prayers, of divine alignment, of breakthroughs already prepared. The gate was never a barrier, it was a mirror. It reflected the inner state of the traveler. When they pressed with fear, it stood with resistance. When they surrendered with faith, it moved with grace. And so it is with you. This golden gate is not far away. It is here. It is your breakthrough. It is the opportunity, the healing, the abundance your soul has been journeying toward. And the key is not in struggle, not in demand, but in your words and your surrender. Hear this truth deeply. Every time you declare, I must force this, I must make it happen, I must push until the universe bends, the gate holds firm. But when you declare, I align, I trust, I release, the law responds, and the gate swings open. This is the law of non-resistance. It is not passivity, it is spiritual mastery. It is standing as one with the divine current rather than thrashing against it. It is knowing the river of destiny carries you faster in surrender than you could ever row in fear. You may ask, but how do I surrender when the pain is loud, when the waiting feels endless, when my heart is tired of hoping? The answer is not in silence, but in sacred dialogue. It begins with the words you speak to yourself in the quiet. Your words are levers, your affirmations are keys. They unlock inner gates that the outer world must then reflect. So take this affirmation not as a phrase, but as a living law. I no longer force, I no longer doubt, I align, and the gate opens. Speak it slowly. Let each word carry the weight of release. Let your inner voice rise with authority, as if heaven itself is leaning to listen. Say it when your heart feels heavy. Say it when doors appear closed. Say it when you wake with uncertainty. Say it until your soul begins to believe the truth that was always within you. The gate opens not by demand, but by divine law. Close your eyes now even as you listen. Visualize yourself as that traveler. See the gate before you, radiant, golden, towering with divine promise. Feel the urge to push, to press, to pound, then pause, breathe. Place your hand upon your heart and say, I no longer force, I no longer doubt, I align, and the gate opens. Watch as the gate begins to glow. Watch as it swings open without resistance. Step through, step into the land that is already yours. The land where prayers have already been answered, where provision is already prepared, where your soul was always destined to walk. And as you step through, feel the truth settle deep within. Your breakthrough is not something you must conquer, it is something you must allow. The gate is your surrender. The key is your alignment. The opening is inevitable. The traveler is you. The golden gate is before you. The moment is now. Say it once more with conviction, not as a wish, but as a command of truth. I no longer force, I no longer doubt, I align, and the gate opens. And as you speak, the universe rearranges. The unseen aligns. The invisible laws conspire to bring you through. The gate has opened and you are walking into your breakthrough. You have reached the gate and you have witnessed it swing open not by force but by surrender. But now comes the path beyond the gate, the way of alignment, for it is not enough to touch a breakthrough once. You must walk in it daily. You must live as one who has found the rhythm of divine law and chooses to stay in harmony with it. Alignment is not a mystery, it is a practice, a daily turning of the heart, a tuning of the inner strings, as though you were an instrument placed in the hands of the divine conductor. And just as no orchestra plays in beauty without tuning, no soul lives in peace without alignment. The path is simple, but sacred, and if you take these 3 steps each day, you will feel the shift. The chaos will quiet, the doors will respond, the heavens will move on your behalf. The first step is words of power. Every day your tongue writes decrees upon the invisible scroll of destiny. Florence Scovel Shinn taught that your word is your wand. What you declare is not empty sound but the shaping of substance. So you must choose words that carve paths of light, not prisons of fear. Speak them daily, not as wishes but as commands. Speak, I align with divine order now. Every detail of my life harmonizes with the perfect plan. Speak, I no longer struggle, I no longer delay, I declare abundance, health, and peace flow through me today. When you rise in the morning, let your first breath carry power. Do not say, another hard day. Say instead, this day is holy, this day is mine by divine right, I am guided and supplied. And when you rest at night, let your final words seal your spirit. I release all worry, I trust the unseen law. My life is held by God's perfect hand. Every declaration becomes a seed. Some sprout quickly, some grow slowly, but none return void. If you wish to align, begin by mastering the current of your words. The second step is sacred stillness. You live in a world addicted to noise, to rushing, to filling every silence with thought, but the soul does not find its compass in noise. The compass of the soul turns true only in silence. Take 5 minutes each day, no matter how heavy the burden feels, and be still. Close your eyes, unclench your hands, breathe slowly, and picture peace. Not the chaos of what could go wrong, not the storm of unfinished battles, but peace like a river flowing through you. See yourself already delivered, see the bills already paid, see the healing already complete. Visualize not the storm but the calm. Florence taught that what you imagine with feeling becomes your reality. Stillness is not wasted time, it is the highest work. For in those moments you align with the divine blueprint where everything is already resolved. Even 5 minutes shifts the atmosphere of your entire day, for the mind, when quieted, becomes a clear channel for the voice of guidance. In silence solutions rise like dawn. In silence strength renews like spring. In silence the soul remembers its home. The third step is the law of substitution. This is the art of replacing fear with truth, for fear will knock daily at the door of your mind, but you are not powerless. You are the gatekeeper. Every thought that enters must be examined, and if it carries the poison of fear, you cast it out and substitute it with a word of life. When the thought says, "It is too late," replace it with, "Divine timing is never late. What belongs to me arrives on time." When the thought says, "I will fail," replace it with, "I walk in divine success. My steps are ordered by God." When the thought says, "I am not enough," replace it with, "I am supplied by the infinite. In God I am whole. In God I am more than enough." This practice is not denial. It is divine correction. It is taking the raw clay of thought and shaping it into truth. It is choosing to tune the instrument of your mind until the music of your life is harmonious. And here is the sacred image. Imagine your life as a grand harp. Each string is a thought. If left untuned, the sound is harsh, chaotic, painful. But when you align, when you tune thought by thought, word by word, the harp begins to sing, and the music of your soul draws blessings. draws provision, draws peace, for nothing attracts divine orchestration more than a life in harmony. Alignment is not a one-time act, it is a rhythm, a walk, a daily song. Some days you will forget, and you will feel the dissonance, but remember, even then, you can pause, retune, realign. The law does not punish, the law simply reflects. When you return to alignment, life returns to flow. Now, I want you to speak it aloud. Wherever you are, whisper if you must, but let your soul hear your voice. Say, I align with divine law now. I choose words of power. I choose stillness over chaos. I choose truth over fear. Again, stronger this time. I no longer force. I no longer doubt. I align, and the gate opens. Do you feel it? The resonance is not just in your body. It is in the atmosphere around you. For words are not air, they are energy. They command angels, they shift unseen matter, they call forth the pattern of your destiny. And as you walk this path daily, you will notice subtle shifts. Anxiety loses its grip, answers come where confusion once reigned, opportunities rise where doors seemed shut, and most of all, your heart becomes light, unburdened, free. For alignment is not heavy labor, it is sacred ease. It is walking in step with the eternal rhythm already designed for you. Let this be your prayer today. O divine conductor, tune my heart to your music. Align my words, my thoughts, and my silence with your law. Let my life be a song of harmony that blesses not only me but all I encounter. This is the path of alignment. It is the daily act of remembering who you are. It is the sacred work of speaking, of stillness, of substitution. And as you walk it, the breakthroughs you once chased will begin to chase you. For alignment magnetizes blessing. Say it once more, as if engraving it on your soul. I align and the gate opens. And from this place, the next revelation N is ready to unfold. For alignment is not the end, but the preparation for the greater vision that awaits you beyond the horizon. Breakthrough is not a faraway promise, it is not waiting on some distant horizon, hidden behind locked doors or buried under years of struggle. Breakthrough is a seed already planted within you, quietly alive, silently unfolding, even in this very moment. The question is not when will it come. The real question is, will you choose to live as though it is already here? So many souls wait at the edge of their own blessing, pacing in circles around the gate of destiny, unaware that the gate was never locked. The key has always been in their hands. That key is faith, not faith as vague hope, not faith as fragile wishing, but faith as substance, as Florence Scovel Shinn declared, faith as the very material of things not yet seen, faith as the invisible blueprint shaping the visible world. Imagine the seed buried in the soil. You cannot see its roots stretching, you cannot see the stem rising in the dark, yet you water it as if life is already there. You trust that the unseen is working beneath the surface. That is the way of true breakthrough. You do not ask, will it grow? You live in the reality that it is already growing. This is the shift of power. This is the movement from waiting into embodiment. You are not chasing. You are not begging. You are not standing in delay. You are inhabiting your answered prayer now. You are walking as the one who already carries the promise. Say it aloud with me. I am already aligned. Again, with more authority. I am already aligned. Now listen to the vibration of your own voice. That is the sound of your soul tuning to the divine orchestra. That is the resonance of breakthrough echoing through your body, making every cell a sanctuary of faith. The world tells you to wait until you see it, wait until you hold it, wait until others confirm it, but the divine law moves in the opposite direction. Creation begins within. You see it first in your spirit, then in your imagination, then in the rhythm of your words, and finally, it crystallizes into form. If you wait for evidence before believing, you chain yourself to delay. But when you believe first, when you speak first, when you act as though the unseen is already substance, the world cannot help but rearrange itself in your favor. Close your eyes for a moment. Picture the one thing you have prayed for most. The home, the healing, the freedom, the overflowing abundance. See it as if it is already yours. Now breathe gratitude into it. Whisper, thank you God that it is already done. Let your heart soften in that gratitude. Gratitude before the evidence is the fragrance of faith. Gratitude is how you tell the universe, I am already living in the reality of answered prayer. When doubt speaks, it will say, but nothing has changed. When fear whispers, it will say, but you don't see it yet. That is when you practice the law of substitution. You replace the false thought with divine truth. You answer the lie with authority. You say, my breakthrough is unfolding now. You say, I live in the reality of answered prayer. You say, what is mine cannot be withheld. Your words are not empty sounds. They are spiritual seeds. Every time you speak with conviction, you plant substance into the unseen soil. Every time you declare, you accelerate the birth of what was promised. Heaven hears and the law responds. Listen, living inside breakthrough is not about pretending, it is about aligning with truth that is already alive in the unseen. The oak tree is already in the acorn, the harvest is already in the seed, the answered prayer is already in your soul. To embody it now is to harmonize with what is already yours. Think of a symphony. The conductor lifts the baton before a single sound is heard. The musicians hold their instruments ready, already living in the reality of the music that is about to rise. Oh, unfold, that is your posture. You are standing in faith's orchestra, ready, alive, vibrating with the certainty of divine timing. You are not wondering if the music will play. You know it already exists. So today, act from certainty. Do not wait until the bank account is full to feel wealthy. Walk as though divine supply is flowing through you already. Do not wait until the relationship appears to feel loved. Live as though love is your present reality. Do not wait until the door opens to celebrate. Dance in advance, for the law of life responds to your energy, not your hesitation. When Florence Scovel Shinn taught that faith is substance, she was showing us that every invisible truth carries its own body. Faith is not shadow. Faith is material in the higher dimension, waiting to take form in this one. When you declare, it is already mine, you give that invisible body permission to step into visibility. Let us affirm together. Say, I am already aligned. Say, my breakthrough is unfolding now. Say, I live in the reality of answered prayer. Feel the power in your chest as those words move through you. This is no longer theory. This is embodiment. This is living the law in the present tense. Breakthrough is not waiting for you tomorrow, it is breathing in you today, and as you anchor yourself in this awareness, life will mirror it back. The call will come, the opportunity will knock, the money will arrive, the healing will unfold, not because you begged for it, but because you dared to inhabit it before your eyes could see. This is the soul's compass. To live now as the person who already carries the victory. To walk as if the gates of destiny were never locked. To breathe gratitude before the evidence, to plant your words like sacred seeds and trust the divine soil to do its work. Step into this reality fully. The waiting season has ended. You are no longer stunned. Ending outside your own promise, you are inside it now. Every word you speak, every thought you choose, every act of gratitude is proof that you are dwelling in breakthrough. And as you continue this path, you will find that what once felt distant begins to draw near, until suddenly it is no longer unseen, no longer invisible, but manifest, alive, undeniable. Not because it appeared from nowhere, but because it was always here. You simply chose to live in it before the world could show it. Hold this truth, speak it daily, let it saturate your being. Breakthrough is not coming, breakthrough is here. This is not the end. This is the beginning of your breakthrough life. This is the moment when you step out of waiting, out of wandering, out of wondering, and you step into the certainty that the gates of destiny have opened wide before you. Every word spoken in this journey has been preparing you for this holy crossing. Every affirmation has been unlocking a hidden door, and now, the doors are not hidden anymore. They stand before you like golden gates shining in the morning light of your soul's awakening. Florence Scovel Shinn taught that life responds not to hesitation but to command. When you decree a thing with the full authority of your spirit, heaven and earth rush to obey. That is what this moment is. This is your decree. This is your sacred declaration. And as these words enter your spirit, you are not just listening, you are sealing the law. Say within yourself, or even aloud if your heart dares, my gates are open, my soul is ready, The divine order of the universe has aligned in my favor. Say it not as a hope but as a decree. Say it not as a whisper of wishful thinking, but as the thunder of a new creation. Your voice carries weight, your words are substance. They are seeds dropped into the divine soil that never fails to yield. Now breathe. Breathe in the atmosphere of answered prayer. Breathe in the fragrance of promises fulfilled. You are not standing outside anymore, knocking and waiting. You are inside. You are home. This is the law of substitution. No longer shall fear take the seat of your heart, for faith has taken its place. No longer shall lack sit at your table, for abundance has claimed the chair. No longer shall delay govern your days, for divine timing has become divine now. I speak this over you with full authority of spirit. Your drought has ended. Your desert has bloomed. Your struggle has bowed before the throne of grace. Your breakthrough is sealed, and from this moment on you will not return to the language of lack. You will not return to the posture of begging. You will not return to the identity of waiting. You are living as one crowned with completion. Do you feel it? That weight lifting off your shoulders is not imagination. That quiet peace rising in your chest is not illusion. That still small voice whispering, "It is done," is the voice of God agreeing with your decree. You are aligned with the divine orchestra now, and every instrument of heaven plays your song. So visualize it with me. Close your eyes if you can. See yourself standing before a radiant golden gate. It is tall, it is majestic, it is glowing with the light of heaven, and as you approach, you realize the gate is not locked. It swings wide at the sound of your steps. The invitation is clear. The path is open. The question is simple. Will you walk through? Take that step now in your spirit. Cross over into the reality of answered prayer. Feel your feet touch the ground of abundance. Feel your lungs fill with the air of new beginnings. Feel your hands touch the fruit of long-awaited harvest. You are not waiting for breakthrough. You are living inside it. You are clothed with it. You are sealed in it. Now declare with me, line by line, as if you are engraving this truth on the walls of your destiny. I am already aligned. My breakthrough is unfolding now. I live in the reality of answered prayer. My gates are open. My soul is ready. The divine order of the universe has aligned in my favor. Let each phrase echo in your spirit like the tolling of a sacred bell. Let it settle, not just in your mind but in your very cells. You are rewriting your subconscious. You are commanding your atmosphere. You are declaring to every power, seen and unseen, that you are no longer outside. You are inside. You are whole. You are fulfilled. Now listen, beloved soul. The law of non-resistance calls you not to fight old battles anymore. You do not need to struggle for what is already yours. You need only to walk in calm certainty, to move with quiet authority, to rest in divine order. Your only task is to keep your words aligned, your vision steady, your spirit open. The rest is already written. So hear me say this one final time as a decree over your life. Your gates are open. Your soul is ready. The divine order of the universe has aligned in your favor. From this day forward, you carry this seal within you. No voice of doubt can erase it. No circumstance of lack can override it. No delay can undo it. It is eternal. It is established. It is done. And now, I invite you into embodiment. If your soul is ready, type these words in the comments. I receive my breakthrough. Speak it with your voice, write it with your hand, and let heaven record it as your signature on this decree. This is not mere interaction. This is ceremony. This is covenant. You are entering agreement with the divine, and as you do, know this, you are not alone. You are part of a sacred movement, a family of awakened souls choosing faith over fear, abundance over lack, destiny over delay. Each share of this message is not just spreading content, it is spreading light. Each subscription is not just support, it is alliance. Together we are weaving a network of divine voices, a chorus of truth that no darkness can silence. So I close this chapter not with farewell, but with a beginning. Walk through the gate, live inside the promise, carry the seal of breakthrough wherever you go, for this is not the end. This is the beginning of your breakthrough life, and it begins now. I invite you now to become part of this sacred movement. Subscribe to this channel and step into a community where faith becomes substance, where words become wealth, and where your spirit learns to walk in divine order every day. Share this message with those you love, for when you spread light, heaven multiplies it back to you. Comment below, declare your faith, and let your voice join the chorus of souls rising into breakthrough. Together we are not just watching videos, together we are writing a new story of destiny. So breathe in, lift your heart, and take this next step. Subscribe, share, declare, and watch as heaven records your faith and opens gates you never imagined could swing wide for you.